Hello student, I am Rashid Khan from Lakshmi Prasad Memorial Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Class, we will have to study about the same chapter as we have already discussed about water, that is a precious resource. Water, precious resource. So, we have already discussed about the different type of water we can find on the earth in the form of solid, liquid and gases. How they can be changes, how they can be interconverged. Let us discuss more about how they can be converged. Here, now student will have to learn about what is the percentage or availability of water on the earth. So here we can see the percentage of water or availability of water. Availability of water on earth. What is the availability of water on the earth? Actually, our earth is covered by 96% approx by the water, and here is only 2% in all the water which is consumable. It is consumable. Only 2% water is consumable. We can consume only 2% of water, and we know that there is 0.9 approx 0.9%, that means nearly 1% of total water what we are going to use in our daily life for the process of drinking, for the uses of drinking. So we can say here is a lot of water. There are a number of water, a huge amount of water everywhere, but not a single drop of water can drink. So in this regard, we'll have to go through the structure by which what percentage of water can be covered. In the particular segment we will talk. So here guys we have to discuss already about the availability of water. So availability of water in the form of availability of water. In that form you can see there is a large number of water present on the earth. That is all about the water present, in which only the ice caps and glacier have 2.06%, and the availability of fresh water is about 0.94%, in which the total fresh water which is found all approx which can consumable, that is, you can show a chart through which lakes, swamps and river which can contain 0.09% and the other 0.02%. This is all amount of the fresh water, and this is about all the forms of water which is consumable. So in the fresh water you can see there is a very slightly form of water present on the earth which have to be very useful, which is a very important. What we are going to use nowadays, the water might have been lost if it is uses such like, so it cannot be resumed for a very large period of a time. So why these? We are here to inform that the water can be consumed in a very particular manner. That means it has to be kept in a very curious and in a very careful for the future uses. Why? Because it is a limited form of water present on the earth. So we'll have to very careful about how we can how we can care about these water resources and different forms of water present on the earth. Now we'll have to discuss the different. So what is the water cycle? Water cycle. Or you can say what is mean of cycle of a water. Water cycle, or it is called as a hydrological cycle. What is the hydrological cycle or water cycle means? The water cycle means that is the cyclic movement of a water from the earth to the atmosphere, to the clouds as well, and from the cloud to the again on the earth as well. In the different form, different process. What are the process? What are the criteria to be taken in that particular process? We know that how the water cycle generated, how the water cycle can causes the rain. These are all what we'll have to go through this topic. So the water cycle is first of all the cyclic movement of water which has to be evaporated, that maybe changes from the liquid to the vapors. We know there is a vast form of a very huge and vast form of a water resources, that is lakes, sea, ocean, river, whatever the large number of water resources which has to be changes in the form of vapor. You can see like this. Here there are the number of sources: ponds, lake, reaches, the plants. There is the number of water vapor get changes. This liquid get changed into the form of water vapor. These vapors continuously go through and chunk to each other. Then after this will make a different form of a water vapor get attached to one another, get combined to one another and form the water droplets. How they can be formed? This can be formed by the process of condensation. When these water particles, water chunks are get attached or combined to one another, this one can be takes place by the process of condensation. Here is the sum of the dust particle, dirt particle as well as the ice chunk which has to be formed by the process. They have to be formed the clouds by the process of condensation. The condensation, the resultant to form the clouds, and again these clouds can carry a huge amount of water vapors, water droplets in it. These water droplets can be just precipitated. They can't hold for a long time. So these water chunks of water droplets, they has to be get collected to another form drops. These drop having a very heavier the clouds cannot hold this amount. So this can be takes place or this can be let down to the earth in the form of rain. So that is called as rain. So this is how the rain happens, by the process of precipitation reactions. These precipitation reactions has to be come down in the form of a rain. Now you can look out what is the process. This can be rain, takes place in the form of ice as well, in the form of water as well. There are different type of a process: condensation, evaporation, surface water. These are groundwater, rock, water cycle. These water cycle maintain continuous supply of a fresh water on the earth. How they can be fresh water? This fresh water, why? Because this is fresh water. Because this can be takes place, the water can be formed, the water rain can be formed on the earth by the different processes. So by passing through these different processes, the water get evaporate, that condense, then precipitate. So all these processes make the water very pure, and this is called the surface of water, that is a fresh water. There is a percolation takes place in the groundwater, that is the surface water as well. There is a large number of water vapors in the form of plants, as well as there is a river, lake, ocean. These are all amount of water has to be evaporated in the form of evaporation. So that can be another form of a water, which is in the form of a water vapor. This may have, you can look out the process of evaporation. By the evaporation, the liquid can changes into the form of water. Then condensation. These water chunks to each other. This is called a condensation. They form a cloud, and again from the clouds, the water cannot hold for a long period of a time in the form of a water vapor, but that is heavier and get down in the form of a rain. This is called a water cycle. This may form a cyclic movement. Water cycle means the continuous supply of fresh water. Continuous supply of fresh water by cyclic movement of water, or hydrological cycle. This is called hydrological cycle or water cycle. So this is all about the water cycle. We can do more on the next video.